very warm welcome to all of you who have joined us online today for this World Pulses Day event organized by OTA and MPBSA Myanmar. I am Anand Chajed, working with Swiss Singapore Overseas Enterprises and a part of XCOM at OTA, and I'm based out of Yangon, Myanmar. We are going to talk today with a special guest who is working with ITC Limited in India and their transformational largest internet-based intervention in rural India called eChaupal. Before that, I'll just give you a brief about the company called ITC Limited. ITC was established in 1910. It's a diversified conglomerate with businesses spanning across FMCG, personal care, cigarettes, branded apparels, education and stationery products, incense sticks, and safety matches, hotels, paper boards, packagings, agribusiness, and IT. Company was incorporated on August 24th, 1910 in Kolkata, India. It is one of the India's foremost private sector company with a gross sales of 10 billion US dollars and a net profit of around 2 billion USD. Just sharing the numbers to give you a brief idea on the scale of operations the company is managing across segments. It has the distinction to be the only company in the world to be carbon, water, and solid waste recycling positive. It owns over 25 brands under its belt in foods, packaged food, and personal care segments in India. It is a preeminent position as one of the India's leading corporates in agriculture sector as well. ITC's agribusiness is the country's second largest exporter of agri products from India. And its agribusiness is aligning itself, sourcing its needs for the company's food business to generate higher order value from its agri procurement infrastructure. Now I'll just brief you introduce you to our speaker, Mr. Shailesh Krishna. He is working as general manager with ITC. He has more than 25 years of experience in agri commodities trade, has well-rounded experience of working in India and abroad as an expatriate. Mr. Shailesh is currently heading the business of grains trading and rice exports. He himself has been with ITC since inception of eChaupal system of direct farm procurement. So welcome, Mr. Shailesh, and thanks for making yourself available on our request.
Thank you, Anand, and it is a privilege to be present on your forum and interact with your guests.
My pleasure, sir. We will play a short video on what is eChaupal, which means a meeting place in villages in the local language in India, for a brief understanding of our audience on the concept. And then we will take the discussion forward with Mr. Shailesh. So a brief video, please. Thanks. Really great video displaying the concept, sir. May I request Mr. Shailesh, please explain to our viewers what is this initiative eChaupal in simple language, if you can just make it possible for our audience to understand. And what I understand is that it's a win-win model for both the farmers and for the company who has initiated it. So over to you, Mr. Shailesh, please.
Thank you, Anand. While yes, the video had most of the salient features of eChaupal, I would like to explain it in even simpler terms, and I would use a few slides to really take you through the concept, through its evolution, and how it has evolved and how it has helped the farmers and the company. So let me share the presentation with you. As I've explained that this is world's largest digital infrastructure intervention in rural India. And why was it necessary? It was necessary because of the inherent problems in countries in Asia where you have the farmers facing various problems like small land holding, less than 2 acres per farmer, dispersed land holdings, poor knowledge about farming, that is a major gap area, and inadequate infrastructure for the farmer to either, pre-harvest or post-harvest, as well as limited access to markets. Plus, the inputs available to them are obviously not of the highest quality. And as far as the supply chain is concerned, there are several middlemen who have, who get their commission or cut out of this, leading to a reduced realization for the farm. So this is depicted here in a visual, diagrammatic format where the farmer in the middle is getting both the agri input as well as the information on farming from maybe the government departments, and the farmer is then selling his produce in a government mandated marketplace which is called mandi in India, and he is in fact selling it to a set of two levels of middlemen called the kacha adat and the pakka adatya. So each level of intermediary in between is getting his either 1.5% for maybe engaging with the farmer, maybe providing him loans through a money lender. So that kind of association, the kacha adatya will take maybe about 2%. And then the final trader or broker in the APMC in the marketplace will again charge about 1.5%. And sometimes that is bought by traders, sometimes it is bought by processors like us. So this entire chain takes away a lot of, in terms of the inputs that are available to the farmer are very poor, and the produce that is sold has several middlemen or intermediaries. So ITC decided to come up with a direct intervention for the benefit of farmers, where we started the eChaupal system. We provided the farmer with weather information, we provided the farmer with price and market information, and we also provided the farmer the option to sell his produce at the farm gate or to the nearest eChaupal center of the farmer. So he did not have to travel all the way up to the mandi, but had a nearby option. While this was all done at a very transparent manner so that the farmer is able to access the information. So this is a picture of how this is a typical farmer's house in a village, and how the local farmers are able to access the information, the market information, the weather information and advisory through a network of computers. This, I'm talking of early 2000. So this was the best in class facility that we put up with the farmers at that point of time. And since electricity was a challenge, since network connectivity was an issue, so ITC also installed a solar battery system at the farmer's house so that he doesn't face the challenge of connectivity in terms of electricity, and a VSAT that was imported at that point of time was also put at the farmer's house. So all these challenges ITC had to face, I'm talking maybe 20 years back. None of this is a challenge today with the smartphone technology, but yes, then this enablement was a basic necessity for the eChaupal system to run. Now, eChaupal has also gone through various evolution stages, whereas it started with buying of commodity and interacting with the farmer and supplying them with the best market information, cropping practices, etc. In the second stage, we also put up a rural hypermart at the same place where the buying center was, so that, which is called a Chaupal Sagar, where we made Kisan credit card, money available, ATM, petrol pumps, and basic necessities were also available to the farmer at the same point where he came to sell his produce. And the third stage, where we started engaging with the whole rural community as such, and engaging corporate world to help them showcase their products in the rural areas with the help of the Chaupal infrastructure that we had. So it was a composite interaction with rural India, starting from their crop to getting them the best in class realization, market linkage, goods, and whatever they aspire for in their daily life. Everything was subsequently provided to the farmers. So this is the photos of the eChaupal Sagar that we have, where companies can bring their tractors and sell it to the farmers or showcase it to the farmers. The agri input companies, everybody who's a farmer stakeholder in agriculture could come and showcase their products and transact with the farmer and the rural community. So it was an integrated model. And this is the inside of what a rural hypermarket looks like. This is built by ITC today in about 30 places across rural India in 5 different states. So we sell not only rural, agri inputs, but we sell the daily necessities, what a farmer needs in his house. All that is sold. This entire ecosystem is orchestrated by ITC. So not only this, but we help farmers. Like I said, we help farmers with the latest crop production technology. What is the best practices? What variety they should be growing? Whether they can grow organic, and what is the farm technology that they can use. So we choose in each village, we choose a few farmers' land, and we bring in agri-technology companies, input companies, everybody together. We orchestrate the system to demonstrate to the farmer how best a farming can be done in their land itself. And this raises productivity and finally the money that the farmer gets. So everybody across, around that village knows that, okay, ITC is demonstrating the best practices. We call it Chaupal Pradarshan Khet or demonstration farms. We also participate in various community development programs to make their, water bodies, and we create water bodies with the help of communities. So the entire community is involved, and that goodwill is generated throughout the farmer community as a binding force with the company and ITC, so that they also keep the company as a preferred choice customer for the farm produce that they are making. So what do we provide? We provide a digital infrastructure. We have a human organization in place. We have a physical infrastructure in terms of Chaupal, Chaupal Sagar, etc. We provide agri inputs. We have agri extension services, which is the demonstration plots and farms that we do. And we have community assets in terms of various developments across the village and rural India, so that their daily lives and their farming needs are met through community assets like water bodies, etc. We do other things like incense stick. We give it to the rural women, and so many ways we engage the rural community into a holistic relationship with the company. So that is my brief presentation about ITC.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Shailesh. That was really enlightening, and it elaborated the whole concept. I think the viewers must have grasped a bit about what is eChoupal by far. I will like to take the discussion forward. I have some more questions in mind when I just saw through your presentation, sir. What are the typical challenges your team, because we are depicting the pictures 20 years back when you initiated the concept, and obviously connectivity and electricity access, there were a lot of basic challenges at that time in India. What are the typical challenges even today, what your team faces when they venture out to establish a eChoupal center in a new territory where you are not present currently?
See, the Choupal system was brought about to bring in a whole lot of things that were missing from that point of time in the farming ecosystem. Information was missing, and honest trading was missing. Honesty in the transaction was missing. Instant payment was missing. The mandis did not pay to the farmers, correctly at that on the same day. The payment was manual, and there was no way to understand whether the payment is correct or not. So ITC introduced, electronic weigh bridges and same day payment and so many things. A lot of these needs are now, even mandi system has that. Electronic weigh bridges have been introduced in some of the mandis, and same day payment has also become a norm. However, the thing of community development or engaging with the farmers to demonstrate what you can do best with your produce, how you can grow your produce, that is something that is still missing amongst the facilities that are available to the farmer or the corporates who are engaging with the farmers in India. So that is where ITC stands out still in terms of, however, as far as the difficulty is concerned, yes, convincing the farmer, engaging the farmer, finding a lead farmer who will be your advocate in the village, all that is a process which takes time and convincing and persuasion and perseverance on part of ITC. It does not happen overnight. When you're adding new villages, when you're adding new communities, it takes time and it is a difficult process. But anyway, finally, when they see the benefit, it matters a lot.
Right. So convincing the farmer that why I should associate with ITC when I am happy producing my own crop and selling it in the system currently. Great, sir. But what are your suggestions, say, for a country like Myanmar or the countries in Africa or other Southeast Asian countries where the economies rely very heavily on agriculture, but the basic infrastructure is not in place, as we have seen in the case of India as well, way back. And the farmers are in these countries, they are also devoid of the technology or the latest on farming techniques, how to do, what to produce, and all those things.
See, here it is a joint effort. So alone, no company can do it. You can become a leader of an orchestra. So you have to orchestrate various resources, various players who have a stake in the agriculture in any country. Like ITC has done, we have associated with partner companies also. So essentially what we are trying to do, we are trying to make the agricultural supply chain more competitive and to give better realization options to the farmer. So how each country by country, you will have to examine, okay, what is the current supply chain that exists in my country? And where are the inefficiencies lying in terms of either transport or in terms of payment availability or in terms of poor productivity on the farms? Or is it all of them altogether? Is it everything? Is it market access? What are the challenges that the farmer is facing in your country or the country where we are choosing to implement a system of farmer empowerment? So case by case and node by node. Okay, what is the challenge in, let's say, pre-harvest, before sowing, before even sowing begins? What is the challenge? Does farmer have access to, let's say, a certain amount of funds? Is he able to buy the seeds? Is he able to buy the agri inputs? Is he taking a loan? How much is the company which is giving loan, or the individual which is giving loan to him, what is he charging the farmer? So I mean, then after it harvests, what does the farmer do? Where does he go? Who does he sell it to? Who are the final consumers of that particular commodity? What are they making? Can the farmer grow something better than just ordinary produce? Can you grow a low starch, maybe, or low glycemic index rice? Can you grow a higher gluten wheat that goes into pizza and does not go into ordinary wheat flour? So can the farmer be linked to the final customer demand? How do you link the farmer to the customer demand to give him higher value for his crops? Why should he grow the most mundane and the simple variety? Can he not grow a variety that has got final attributes which a evolved customer wants? Say, what does a Domino want in India? Maybe Domino wants the highest class of gluten that gives extensibility to the pizza. So how can I, help a farmer grow that particular variety? So there is no straight jacket solution. The entire supply chain has to be broken in each leg, small transaction leg, and then that has to be improved upon. So it's a long work, but I'm sure with people who are interested like you, and maybe help from other corporates, this can be done.
Right, Mr. Shailesh. So it involves, I think, a lot of agencies and a lot of handholding to the farmers to really see through to evolve a concept like this in any country. But I'm sure that talking about this concept, at least people will get a head start on whether it is replicable and in whatever limitations they have depending on a country. If at all they can take benefit out of it.
In ITC, we have a saying, our director, our founder of eChopal, Mr. Shiv Kumar, he says that instead of selling the produce or buying the produce of the farmer, can the farmer produce the buy? Produce what the customer wants to buy. Can you produce the buy instead of buying the produce of the farmer? Can the farmer himself be educated enough so that he plants what the customer requires? How do you make that transition?
Right. Very true. Very true. Yeah. So, Mr. Shailesh, one more thing I had in mind was, what is your idea? Government can play a role in such kind of an initiative to be successful or to be replicated anywhere else in the world. What's the government agencies or the government's direct intervention in this kind of a platform?
See, the government of the systems in different countries, but I can guess what is the government's role today? Is the government just a regulatory body which is regulating transactions, or the government is playing the role of a orchestra conductor or a facilitator? So that that transition the government has to make from playing a pure regulator and arbitrator to somebody who's facilitating things. So whether it is laws on who can produce, who can buy, where you can produce, what tax to be given, what is contract farming, etc. So all those laws need to be revisited, and the government has to actively encourage the leading food producers or the leading corporates or the leading bodies who are producing food to actively engage with the farmers and handhold them. So that kind of incentive the government has to provide. to the corporates in terms of freeing up regulations so that they are able to engage with the farmers without any either middlemen, or in terms of they get reduced supply chain cost and reduced supply chain, they have supply chain savings. So that kind of environment creation and freeing up of the environment is the role of the government.
Right, well taken. I think so. Government should be a facilitator to such kind of an initiative which can really transform agriculture across the world. Mr. Shailesh, it was really great interacting with you, and it was enlightening for me as well. And I hope my viewers also must have enjoyed, who have joined all across the world, and who have been listening to us quite patiently all the while. So thank you once again, and thanks all the viewers who have logged in today to take part in our program on World Pulses Day. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Anant, and thank you, WPT.